Welcome back to Bondi Harvest Summer Cooking. We just cooked up my epic toasted granola and put a Bondi twist on an Aussie classic. But now it's time for some barbecue excellence. All right, so it's time for a summertime barbecue, and I'm gonna do my famous Mojo marinated pork belly and a charred pineapple salsa. So you can use any barbecue you'd like. You can use a gas Weber, you can use whatever you've got on hand. I like using coals. It takes a little bit more preparation, but the flavour is so much better. You get like a sort of smoky, charred, beautiful natural flavour from it. This has been going for about 2 to 3 hours. Like I said, same as gas, turn it up, let it sit there for at least half an hour, and that's the key to any good barbecue. All right, guys, we have a beautiful organic and free-range pork belly here. When we choose meat, we always choose organic and free-range. It's better for us, it's better for the animals, it's better for the environment. So the first step to our epic char-grilled pork belly is to salt our pork belly. So when I say salt, it's like a dry marinade. So a whole bunch of spices, a whole bunch of flavors gonna go in there. And what that does, it seasons the pork belly all the way through. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw some fennel seeds into a bowl. We're gonna go some black pepper as well, some sugar and some salt. To that, we're gonna add some chili and some garlic finely diced up. We're also gonna microplane some lemon, some orange and some lime zest in there as well. The colors actually scream summer. You know, that citrus, the lemon, the lime, the orange, the pepper, the fennel seed. The last thing is our beautiful lemon myrtle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab nice, young, soft, clean leaves, and I'm just gonna shift knight it up really finely with a knife. So it's gonna go into our curing mix. I'm gonna give it a good mix. So our beautiful, organic, free-range pork belly, I'm gonna take it onto the chopping board. I'm just gonna score it about 1/2 centimetre deep, just enough to get all that flavour into the pork belly, and then flip it over and do the same with the other side. We're gonna rub our special dry marinade on there. We're gonna whack it in the fridge and marinate it for about 12 hours. Really get it in to those little cuts. Curing of the pork belly is not essential. It's like advanced barbecuing. You can leave it out if you don't want to, if you're strapped for time. All right, so we're gonna rub a light amount of olive oil on top here just to make sure it doesn't stick. And then this is ready to go onto the barbecue. This is gonna go on the direct side of our barbecue, so the really hot searing side. I'm gonna go skin side down, and the first step is we wanna render that fat. So what we want is a really nice char and color on that. Like, how epic is that? We're gonna char it on the direct heat, swap it to the indirect heat, and cook it slowly so it's tender and delicious. So while our pork is barbecuing, I'm gonna show you guys how to make a really nice Mojo marinade. Chop up some coriander and some mint super fine. I'm gonna chop through the stalks. It's gonna be barbecued, so you don't have to be too particular with it. That's gonna go into a bowl, and into that bowl, we're gonna add some cumin seed that's been toasted. We have some oregano as well, just dried oregano. We're then going to microplane some ginger, some chili, and some garlic into that bowl. So nice and fine. All right, to that, we're gonna add some citrus. So we've got some orange, some lemon, and some lime. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna juice that in there. And then a good glug of olive oil. So I'm gonna add about 4 tablespoons of good quality olive oil, give it a mix, and that's it. It's that simple. It smells unbelievable. I'm telling you now, this is like the secret weapon to the perfect pork tacos. All right, so the process now is to constantly brush the pork belly with the citrus and the herbs. So give your pork a really good baste, but don't use all your Mojo marinade. What we're gonna do is we're continually flipping and continually basting to make sure all that citrus and all those beautiful herbs sort of really penetrate that pork. So the pork is gonna take about 2.5 hours. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continually flip it and continually baste it every sort of 5 or 10 minutes. So keep your eye on it. So we have 2.5 hours now to make my most amazing caramelized pineapple salsa. This salsa is a little bit special. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna char grill and barbecue a pineapple. It's gonna add a really nice sort of acidic caramelization to what would usually be a simple salsa. Pineapple on the direct side of the barbecue. And what I'm gonna do is just continually spin it to make sure that the whole pineapple's caramelized on the outside. Johnny? All right, dude. What's happening? Under control? All right, so everyone's arrived. It's time to knock together this salsa. So the pineapple's sort of charred, it's soft. Now that looks like a barbecue. So we're feeding the masses, so we've got 6 kilos of pork belly. It's all been pre-marinated, and we're just finishing off and basting it on the barbecue. How good does that look? That's where it's at. That's all the sugars have been drawn out from the pineapple. All right, so our pineapple is almost ready. It's got about 5 minutes, and that's just enough time for me to make the base for our salsa. So we've got some beautiful heirloom tomatoes here. I'm just gonna cut them in halves and quarters and squeeze them into a bowl. They're too beautiful to dice up into nothing. We're then gonna dice up some red onion really fine. We're gonna add some acid with some lime and some lemon, a beautiful pepper, some chili for a bit of heat, a little bit of garlic, some parsley, and then last but not least, the superhero of the dish, gorgeous caramelized pineapple. So you know your pineapple's ready when it's completely charred and caramelized on the outside, and then soft and warm to the center. You want some? I'll grab some.
That's still good.
Oh, come on, some of the crew.
Yeah, buddy. You know, you can see it looks quite dark, but that's not burnt. That's caramelization. That's all those sugars from the marinade sort of sticking onto the outside. They're the sexy bits that get stuck inside your teeth. Because we've left the bones in, the bones actually help to keep, you know, that pork belly really tender and really moist, so the bone marrow comes out. It adds a lot of extra flavor. And then if you've been a good little director, you might get one of these little bad boys. But to finish it off, a pièce de résistance is a perfect pork crackling. You can grab this recipe at bonneharvest.com. How good does that look? And believe me, it smells so amazing. Mojo marinated tacos with caramelized pineapple salsa. Honestly, it doesn't get any better. I'm starving. You hungry?
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for watching the first episode of Bondi Harvest. So many more food adventures to come. I think it's time to turn the camera off and come and eat, guys.
I think so. Let's do it.
Before the tacos are gone.
It's on the floor, yeah. Heart out on the floor, yeah.
Next time, we're cooking my go-to summer specials. We'll kick off with my epic chai spice smoked salmon. Then it's off to the markets to see what's in season and to cook a delicious light summer risotto. Finally, we get down and dirty with my decadent ricotta chocolate cake. Till then, good food, good vibes, stay salty. You.